to keep covering this because the more that they're popping up, at least I can show you the repetition here, the pattern here, that this isn't going away. That saying that it's a manufacturer's default sure is an easy way to get around it and then never have to hold accountability for why these keep getting sent out. I mean, is there somebody on the assembly line here that might be losing their job? Because these seem to be going up in a lot of states. So, as you know, the purple/black lights have been popping up all around the U.S. and now in Winnipeg, Canada as well. Well, now we have it in Nebraska and Iowa. They're popping up. And if you follow my website at callfornuprising.com, there are forums and stuff over there where you can comment and share your information. People are posting what they're seeing in their own place, in their own cities and towns and their highways, pulling over, taking photos to document where these things are popping up. That's why it's really important to be on the website, and it's great to see people sharing this stuff because not all local news affiliates are doing stories on this. But if enough people start calling in and complaining and showing them, the local affiliates will cover these stories and, of course, just give you the simple reasoning behind it because they don't want people to be suspicious. Not that the people at the affiliate news stations really know. The editors at the top do. But the anchors are clueless, as you can see. They're like, I'll show you right now. Just coming up with spooky lights just in time for Halloween and the fall season. Well, here they are popping up more and more around this country.
Full street lights are popping up around Lincoln, and the city says it's not on purpose. You may have noticed them on some downtown and other busier streets.
LES says it's a malfunction happening across the Midwest as certain LED lights installed as a cost-saving project are starting to change hue. 1011 Now's Ellis Wiltsey is on the scene with this story.
On your commute home, you may have noticed a street light that looks like this, purple. While the city says that color is incorrect, it's not aware of any increased risk to drivers.
While the purple lights are popping up just in time to add a spooky effect for fall, Lincoln Electric System says the change isn't on purpose. It's a malfunction. So far, it's replaced 300 streetlights that have turned this color, which is just over 1% of the 27,000 LED lights it installed citywide from 2018 to 2019. LES tells 1011 Now, quote, since most of these streetlights were purchased at various times and installed as part of the citywide LED conversion, there is no definitive way to pinpoint the exact number that will fail. The supplier of the LED lights estimates that up to 2,000 of them could be affected. But LES documents say work could be done to up to 5,200. This isn't just a problem in Lincoln. Our sister news stations in South and North Carolina, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Kansas have reported similar issues. One electric company in Kansas explaining their issue as a component in the light that is failing prematurely, making the light shine into a more blue-purple color. The good news, replacing the purple lights won't cost taxpayers any money. Right now, LES has a contract open for bidding on new replacement work, and the city says the manufacturer is going to foot that bill.
That LES contract is set to close to bids in the next 2 days, and if that is to be awarded to somebody, that work would last for at least the next year.
Some streetlights in Winnipeg have taken on a different glow. Manitoba Hydro says it's working to fix about 30 streetlights emitting a purple hue. A spokesperson says about 97% of the city's streetlights have been converted to LED bulbs over the past several years. Hydro points to a coating on the bulbs, which normally helps them give off white light.
What happens, obviously, sometimes is there's a delamination of that, and as that phosphor coating fails, you then get a different color hue cast by the lights, in this case purple.
Hydro says all of the streetlights installed as part of a conversion to LED lights come with a 10-year warranty. It says the manufacturer will replace or repair them at no cost. If you see a purple streetlight, you can report it to Manitoba Hydro through its website.
And of course, like you heard, Canada as well. Now, some of you are saying, boy, I mean, what could they be using this for? Well, if you start piecing things together, of course, it's pretty easy to figure this out. Now, you might say, oh, yeah, wasn't there this thing, Luciferis, call it what you want, Lucifer we'll call it. Yeah, what was going on with that again?
I grew up in the Midwest and spent my childhood summers chasing around lightning bugs. There's something about them that just captures the imagination. But such powers of light don't belong to just those bugs. Bioluminescence is found in a lot of different animals. Imagine waves of bright light trailing behind your ships. Such a phenomenon was part of sailors' stories for centuries. It's even described in Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea as a milky sea. But it's not just a story or a mystery. Really, it's all just chemistry. Most of the time, it's just two chemicals in particular, luciferin and luciferase. Luciferase is an enzyme which binds oxygen and luciferin together. This reaction creates a lot of energy, and rather than being released as heat, it gives off light. But all of this is different from fluorescence. Fluorescence is when an animal has proteins that reflect light, kind of how certain things glow under a black light. Some animals only glow under certain wavelengths, like the elegant jelly, which reflects blue light. Scientists genetically modified some animals like rabbits and cats with those fluorescent proteins from jellyfish. Yes, glowing cats exist! In fact, the development of this technique won a Nobel Prize in 2008. By creating glowing cats or sheep, researchers can track their formation of certain biological processes like nerves growing or diseases spreading. Other researchers in San Francisco are creating glowing plants and trees, which could light up the night without using any power. To find out how, check out this video right here.
By the way, we are not synthesizing the whole genome, just the design that we want to insert into the genome.
So you're just taking the glowing part from this bacteria and putting it into this plant that doesn't glow.
What's your favorite kind of light-up animal?
Hey, great video. What's my favorite kind of light up animal? How about human? How about human beings? Right? They are animals, right? Well, in the world we live in. I mean, there's zombies. I don't even know if they're animals. I don't know what species they are, but that's my favorite kind of light up human. How about you guys? Right? You get it? You see how this works? You see, through science, we can do things like this. And then just like they say that they do that to animals, right? To track and monitor that. Right, because what are humans? Humans, to them, are nothing but a science experiment. Kind of like, if some of you remember when I used to cover things like Operation Paperclip, which are just basic things you can look up on your own, when we brought all these scientists over here and they were doing these bizarre experiments on humans. Yeah, they never stopped experimenting on humans. In fact, they're doing it right now, experimenting on them. Yeah, like lab rats. Yeah, so that would be, I guess, my favorite, because it's normal to experiment on humans. And of course, they use the reference to animals because, well, we're used to watching TV shows, right? And studying animals, and we think that's normal, right? Because we're like, well, okay, we need to know, or it's interesting to know. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Okay, this is what the lion likes to do. This is what the bear likes to do. This is how you provoke. This is how you don't provoke. This is what you're supposed to do in this situation. Well, you wouldn't think that these people who are trying to rule over and control human beings would ever try to do that to them, would they? Now, if they can monitor them and watch them and track them at all times, don't you think, it would be really easy to continue hurting them? Now, I know a lot of people are saying, well, we live in a society that's already completely herded. Not herd immunity, by the way, which apparently has been completely dropped. Remember that? Herd immunity, 70%. Well, according to their data, we're over it, but that was dropped. No, herding humanity. But why would anyone ever want to do that? People are loved together. The TV tells us that, right? All these big brands, these guys who run love and together and one. They would never think of doing anything. These aren't evil people. These are wonderful people. So no, they can't be running a science experiment. These types of things with these lights. What's going to end up happening? I mean, at this point, aren't they supposed to be taking them down? Right? I love how they let you know that it won't be coming out of your taxes. Right? Don't worry, tax spenders. It won't cost you a dime. It's going to be a refund from the manufacturer. Well, that's nice. That's because our money's too busy getting sent to create the magic potions. Our money's busy being sent to create these underground cities and tunnels that they've built with our tax money, where they tell you that it goes towards roads and things in your town, and you drive around hitting potholes all day. And hearing constantly how there's not enough money in the town budget to do this or that in whatever town you might be in. Well, that's because all that money that they print and all that money that you give back has gone into building a New World Order. So, go figure, right? Now, I hope you were able to piece that together. I know I've covered it before. I'm going to continue covering, because the more stories every week that come out, and again, remember, they're not going to constantly report on this. That's why it's important for people to report on it. That's why the website's important, because people are reporting on it themselves. You know, you can't share pictures on YouTube. You can't share links to videos that you might upload on YouTube. Over there, you can share your own channel and stuff that you're seeing in your own towns, because obviously these journalists on the television aren't reporting any truths or anything going on. And when they do cover it, they just deflect and tell you that it's a manufacturer's default. Now, you might say, well, it's not factual that what they're doing with these black lights are what you're saying they're doing with it. Well, that's fair. But you're allowed to have ideas and still, you know, think and use your brain. You're not supposed to just automatically dismiss everything you see that's bizarre and say, oh, it's an accident. Oh, it's not, it's just a coincidence. Because if you do that in life, you get run over. You get walked on. And then you get controlled. And that's exactly where we are today as a society. And we don't need that. So the science experiment known as humanity continues to do whatever Big Brother says, put whatever Big Brother says into them, and go on and on and on in an endless cycle, right? And that's why I always refer to the mouse in the wheel. That's what humanity is. That's what the American dream is, right? The mouse in the wheel, chasing after nothing, things you can't have. Oh, you're going to be a big, rich actor. Oh, and you've tried so hard, and you're really talented at it, and you've gone from plays to plays. You've written music. You're a rapper, or and you've gone and you've done this stuff, and you just can't crack in. Yeah, that's the American dream. It's a failed system where you constantly are trying to achieve things you can't achieve unless you're in their brotherhood. And what does it do? It wears you down. It weakens you. It destroys you. Well, the same thing with the American dream and the rat in the wheel. We're rats in a wheel of science experiments. We're in a maze, running around, and they're just doing stuff to us. And I'm not even just talking about the magic potion. Just think of all the stuff, the barium and aluminum being dropped, the bale from the sky, or the stuff in your food, the weed killer, just constantly experimenting on humanity. Those things, it's okay, right? The FDA will prove that, and nobody will say, wait, why is the FDA approving it? Why is the FDA approving Johnson & Johnson baby powders when it's doing this? And then nobody cares, and nobody calls these companies corrupt or calls for them to be taken down, or these people to be put in jail for crimes against humanity. No. Nope. And then when things like this happen, we're supposed to just believe that no one tested the lights out before they sent them out, and then, oh, well, it just is having a default once it was put up. In all these cities, nobody was like, there's no manager there who would say, all right, nothing's getting shipped until we figure out what this problem is, because it's costing us a lot of money. We're giving them these lights are defaulting. We got to figure out the problem, and then we'll ship the new light. No, we'll just keep sending it until the whole country's covered in purple lights, and then they go, yeah, well, we're finding out that the purple lights are really helping people see better at night. And everyone goes, okay, let's keep them up. And that's how you just continue to herd a society of idiots, pretty much. A reminder again, check out the website at callfornuprising.com. Let me know if you're seeing anything going on around you with these black lights. They continue to pop up instead of go away, which is funny because the story's been out there for almost half a year now, at least, these lights popping up. And you don't hear about them getting taken down. You just hear about more going up. And that's how it works. Because people hear it and they go, oh, that's what the problem is, Call. You're just making crazy conspiracies. And then they just keep going up, and then they'll be up everywhere. And then the people who say it was a crazy conspiracy will say, well, you're stupid, because now they figured out that science has shown that the black light works better than the regular light, and it causes less accident. And people, they just, whatever they hear, they go with. So, pretty dumb world we live in. I want to thank the patrons. I appreciate all of you greatly. Thanks for your support. You keep me here on YouTube, and I want to thank everyone in general for being here. God bless you and your families.